So a massive congratulations to Hina as she came third in Nationals. And this chapter was amazing. Hello everyone, and this is Anime Awakening. And today we're here to talk about chapter 43 of the Blue Box manga series. A flippin' good chapter, if I'm honest with you, that left me feeling conflicted. Because on the one hand, I'm super happy for Hina based on what happened in this chapter. But on the other hand, I'm sad but also slightly excited with anticipation to see what we can see from Chinatsu moving forward. After all, she missed that final shot, thus her team has exited Nationals. So let's start off with Chinatsu, as this loss could have massive implications for her character moving forward. I'm talking about character development. Now this next part is about speculation, but we know how kind and giving Chinatsu can be. We also know how important her teammates are to her, and how hard they've all worked in getting to Nationals. Her teammates did place high expectations on Chinatsu to put in a winning performance, and based on the scoreline, she did just that, but just fell short in the final seconds. Now we as the reader know, obviously, that Chinatsu can't do everything herself, but she will blame herself for missing that final shot. And she might, as a result of blaming herself, have a hard time moving forward in playing basketball in the future. We learn in the last chapter that whenever things get too much for Chinatsu, she curls up into a ball. Now, I'm really hoping this doesn't happen, but I can see her returning home, avoiding people, and just staying in a room curled up for at least a chapter or two, until ultimately Taiki helps bring her out of that mindset. I say this because I think there are a lot of emotions circling through Chinatsu's mind after losing. Emotions like guilt for letting her team down. Sadness because she's out of the tournament and her friends might start leaving the club now. Wasted / unsure. She might start thinking, why did she stay behind for Nationals only to lose and not get further? She might be thinking, what was the point of me being here all this time if I'm just going to miss the shots when it matters? Why did I train so much? Why did I do this? Why did I do that? And once your mind gets like that, it can be quite bad. She might have regret. After all, she might feel regret. Because after all, after reviewing what she did in the match, she might have found a different type of playstyle she could have adapted to a certain situation that would have allowed her to score more points. And that would have mean that they would have ended the game in a better position. Obviously, we know there are going to be a lot of emotions swirling around within her mind. But based on Chinatsu's current character presentation, I'm also wondering if she's going to hide / suppress her negative emotions / feelings and act like everything is okay in front of others, but when out of view, she'll start breaking down and crying. So, as for the match, I really thought that there were a lot of positives to take away from this. Firstly, there were only 1 point separating the two teams, and assuming that Nagisa and Chinatsu were the two highest scorers, based on the expectations that were placed upon them, then those two characters should be mega proud of themselves. Yes, they may not have won, but being very close to the returning champions basically proves that they are able to compete with the top schools when it comes to Nationals. Therefore, yes, Chinatsu has a right to feel sad and have these negative thoughts for a few days or so. But there are really a lot of positives for herself and team to reflect on when they go over their performance review. Lastly, on the matches, I really was disappointed that we didn't get a bigger display from the games at Nationals. In fact, we never saw anything from Hina in terms of rhythm gymnastics, but this little display of basketball with Chinatsu was a little bit underwhelming. However, despite that, I really like the way this chapter was laid out, as we had a rather predictable outcome in, of course, Chinatsu's team probably not winning. So we knew that they were likely to lose, as it's too early for their team to win at Nationals and progress quite far. But adding the stuff with Hina actually helped make this chapter even more entertaining. giving us that shocking moment at the end, was very unexpected and a total surprise because Hina had a statement of love. It wasn't a love confession to Taiki, but it did confirm that she has feelings about being in love with someone. Now, one thing about Hina that I really loved from this chapter was the many facial expressions that we got given, because they were so adorable. We had delight upon getting her treat, annoyance when being asked if she should be satisfied with third place. Now, while on this topic, I really like the desire and dedication from Hina to make sure that she does better next time, as that shows a lot of passion for what she does. We also saw disappointment from Hina when Taiki seemed distracted about the time, thinking the Chinatsu's match should be underway and obviously in the fourth quarter. This was followed by a panel of sadness, which could stem from Hina feeling like she has no chance when compared to Chinatsu, or it could also be because she's about to do something selfish with that confession that she loves someone. Obviously, the reason why it would be selfish from Hina's perspective is because she'll be telling Taiki that, knowing that his heart belongs to Chinatsu. We also see happiness in multiple panels, and this was a delight. A very good example of this emotion being shown came from when Taiki congratulated Hina on third place, as well as when Taiki referred to her as being a girl. Now, this line may seem really simple, but it looked like it boosted Hina's mood, so that is a massive positive. We also saw embarrassment with the whole swing ordeal, where Taiki mentions he might be able to see up her skirt. Plus, Hina's goofy / cheeky expressions make a return, and that was glorious. Now, all of these emotions on show from Hina were fantastic, as they helped to add realism to the interaction between Taiki and Hina. It felt like they were friends hanging out. It felt natural, it felt organic, and I really do like this based on what we've seen from characters before. It also just made this whole segment even more wholesome and cute in the process. However, the big question leaving from this chapter is, will Hina follow up on this statement? She says that she's in love, but will she actually tell Taiki who she's in love with? Or will she make up something silly like a bad answer, saying she's in love with gymnastics, she's in love with sweets and other types of food and snacks? Or will she actually have the courage to say, I'm in love with you, Taiki? And I really hope she does tell Taiki that she loves him. However, I do feel like it's too soon within the series for her to do that. Because, not from Hina's perspective, but Taiki's. Remember, our protagonist is as dense as a bag of bricks when it comes to love and romance. Taiki is a guy who will most likely react negatively and think that Hina is just messing around or joking with him like she normally does. This would either cause Hina to run off crying or hide her emotions for the time being, only to reveal sadness when she's out of view and out of sight. Again, Taiki is dense when it comes to understanding other people's feelings. Anyways, those were my thoughts on this amazing chapter of Blue Box. I'm really looking forward to the next few chapters because I feel like we're going to be in for some juicy character development moving forward. So let me know your thoughts on this chapter in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say about it. And as always, hope you've enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff for more Blue Box content from myself. Have a great day. Alligator, madane, goodbye.